It's Monday, May the 23rd. We're just coming off the long weekend. I know what a lot of you are thinking right now. That burning question that we all want answered. Wine and whiskey with Steve. Does he have legs? Maestro, shh, calm yourself. No, that's not the burning question that everyone's asking. Wine and whiskey with Steve. Where the hell's the whiskey? These guys are fraud. No legs, no whiskey. We should just call the show wine. We just got back from a 10K run, and I can assure you, my legs took me the entire 10K today. 300 lunges after. They're fatigued as hell. I only have a small portion of the precious liquid in the glass over here that I'm going to talk about. He connects with question number one for today. The infamous question. What are legs? What are legs? Valuable things to have on our bodies, but also nice looking when they're in the glass. Also nice looking on Maestro once in a while. It's Monday, May the 23rd, and we're just coming off the long weekend, and I know what a lot of you are thinking right now. It's that burning question that we all want answered. Wine and whiskey with Steve. Does he have legs? Maestro, shh, calm yourself. No, that's not the burning question that everyone's asking. The burning question that everyone wants to be asking is, wine and whiskey with Steve. Where the hell's the whiskey? These guys are fraud. No legs, no whiskey. We should just call the show wine. In all seriousness, folks, hope everyone is having an awesome long weekend. And Saturday we had some wild and wacky weather here with some crazy winds for 5 minutes in the afternoon. The winds were just gusting like crazy and took down trees and power lines. So hopefully no one was seriously injured and no one lost any inventory of wine. But no, seriously, it was pretty bad. Some people are still without power. So to our friends up in Vaughan, Woodbridge region, hope your cellars have a backup generator and everything is okay. We just got back from a 10K run, and I can assure you, my legs took me the entire 10K today, and 300 lunges after. They're fatigued as hell. So I only have a small portion of the precious liquid in the glass over here that I'm going to talk about, and yeah, I'm very eager to talk about this guy actually. And you know what? He connects with question number one for today. So question number one is the infamous question, right? What are legs? What are legs? So these guys here, very, very valuable things to have on our bodies, but also nice looking when they're in the glass. And also nice looking on Maestro once in a while. Shh, Maestro, I can't edit these things out, so be quiet. Okay, so what are we talking about, okay? What are legs? What are legs? Do I want to read the question first, or do we talk about this guy first? No, okay, we'll do the question first. What are legs? So, what are legs? So, are we talking about lines that the wine leaves behind on the glass after we swirl it, after we taste it? Or are we talking about B? Is it the length of time that a wine can age for? Kind of makes sense, but is it C? Okay, does it indicate the value of a wine or the quality of a wine? Okay, or is it D, a wine additive to increase the viscosity? And the answer is, yes, I have legs. The answer is A. So these are the lines that the wine leaves on a glass. And so this guy over here, so legs can be, you know, like a syrupy residue that the wine leaves on the glass, coats the sides of the glass. You know, despite what people may think about the legs, it has nothing to do with the quality of wine, how expensive the wine is. But, you know, it can say something about what is in the glass. Okay, it doesn't necessarily say something about the quality or the price of the wine, but it can give you indication in terms of how the wine was made, or maybe how much alcohol by volume is in the glass. if you have high alcohol, let's say maybe 14%, 15%, 16%, okay, this is going to lead to a more viscous wine, and it's going to give you bigger legs. Also, if you have wood aging, okay, length of time in barrel will increase the viscosity of the wine. Also, extraction of fruits, warm climate, higher sugars, deeper color, more extraction from older vines, okay? So there's lots of things that can contribute to legs in the glass. Now, this guy here, I like to talk about this guy here. So, this is a Californian wine. Again, I'm getting goosebumps because every time I think of California wines, I think of the oak monster, right? And I'm very skeptical when it comes to purchasing California wines because I like wines that tend to be more savory and structured and sometimes not so big and bold. I like lighter to medium body wines that can be a little bit more nuanced, right? And you have to kind of search and look for those characteristics of minerality or of tertiary flavors, right? You know, I'm not really a big fan of, you know, the punch in the face, big bold flavors. You know, at one point my palate was like that. You know, after, you know, a decade plus of tasting wine, your palate changes, you know, going back and forth. But right now, yeah, I've left my big and bold phase, and now I'm into my my lighter, medium body, nuanced phase. Anyways, this guy here, again, you know, maybe back in the day, a label like this would have been attractive to me, but now not so much. It kind of scares me. It makes me run for, you know, the opposite direction. VDR. There's lots of different words I can come up with for the letters of VDR, but I am going to be on my good behavior because this is not a family show, but you never know who's watching on YouTube, right? So very dark red, okay? That is what they're calling this guy. And he's not also very dark red. He's also a very damn heavy bottle, okay? This guy is a solid 5-pound bottle here, I would say. He's a 2018. He's coming from Monterey County, southernmost of California. So here you have very, very, very warm climate. And also the environment here, you have mountains, so it's very mountainous, and the area in which this vineyard is situated is shielded by the mountains. Okay, so it doesn't see lots of wind. It sees a lot of sun, and in the nighttime, the temperatures do dip quite a bit, which is nice for the wine because it allows the wine to retain some acidity, which gives it structure. But the intense heat during the day is what gives this wine very high alcohol, and it also gives it very deep color. So this guy comes in tipping the scales at 15% alcohol. Okay, and I'm gonna post a video or a photo here so you can see the legs that this guy has created on the glass. Okay, this guy is a purple people eater monster. Okay, and he's not an oak monster though, which is surprising for me. Okay, he's not overly oaked. He does see about 14 months combination of French and American oak. Okay, and it's nicely integrated for Californian wine. He's big and bold, and in the mouth, he's port-like. Okay, he's like a late bottle vintage port. His residual sugars aren't high. I think he's below 10 grams per liter. But as I said, alcohol 15%, very, very purple. 14 months of oak aging. Why did I buy this though? I bought this because of the varietals that are making up this wine. And the grapes that are in here, they're hard to find. They're very, very hard to find in isolation, and even still when they're blended together. So here we have Petit Syrah and Petit Verdot, okay, which is also what's going to give the wine this very, very intense purple color. So these guys are both thick-skinned grapes. They're small grapes, so they can withstand, you know, the hot, scorching earth that California provides them with. Lots of blackberries, lots of boysenberry, of smokiness going on in there. There's a little bit of a cinnamon spice going on in there, okay, but very, very rich, very, very full-bodied. We had this yesterday with some barbecue strip loin steak. It was phenomenal. It went so nicely with the charred, rendered fat from the strip loin. It was just like, wow, it's like butter in the mouth, and then this guy just makes it explode, you know, lifts it, takes it to another level. So, and price point on this, not much, okay, 25 bucks, and you're getting a different tasting experience, okay, because he's Petit Syrah, Petit Verdot. You're not going to find those grapes often, okay, it doesn't matter what country you're going to, and again, very well done with this winery. My first time tasting anything from this winery. They're a 100% sustainable winery. Okay, everything's powered by wind turbine. They're 100% certified organic. So great respect for terroir. Okay, which we love, and yeah, and again, you know, the style is big and bold, but that's what you're getting in the newer, because that is what the environment is driving. Those are the factors that are driving the forces, and this is what they're making, right? And that's what you have to do. You have to respect your environment, and you have to do what your environment is telling you to do. Okay? They're not making Pinot here because they can't. The environment doesn't allow for that. It's too warm. Okay? So what are they doing? They're taking the grapes that are going to thrive the most in that climate, and they're making the most out of those. So I love that. Okay? So when a winemaker understands his terroir, he understands and respects the environment, and he knows what he has to do with the tools that he has in order to make a respectable bottle in the glass. That's what we have here. Okay? Good liquid in the bottle, and it's going to be even better when it's poured into the glass. Okay, so again, check out those legs. Okay, so wines with legs. Okay, what do we have in Canada that is going to give us some legs? Now, even though these legs aren't as thick and as viscous as what we're having in here in our very dark red, still, it has some nice legs. Okay, so here we have 𝗪𝗵𝘃𝗶𝘆 𝗠់. Now, why am I choosing this wine? A number one bonus. It's on sale right now from 20 bucks down to 17. So LCBO just put out their new sales of the month, so we'll be doing a video and releasing that in a couple of days about all the crazy sales. Actually, we have two wines here that are on sale, so a bonus for you guys. You get a sneak peek into the sales for this month. But 𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗏. So this guy's made with Ripasso style. Okay, so 𝗪𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗏, they do a lot of 𝗪𝗵𝘁 style wines, and what they're doing with this 𝗪𝗪𝘃𝗃𝗏 wine over here is they're taking the skins, the marks from those 𝗪𝗁𝘁 grapes, okay, and they're repassing this wine over those marks. Okay, so it's going to give it a little bit more structure. Alcohol, I think, is about 14%, okay, 13 to 14%, and you have a blend of Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, maybe some Merlot in there. I think maybe even a splash of Petit Verdot, okay, but yeah, nice extraction of fruits, nice integration of wood. I believe it's about maybe 10 months of French and American oak, something like that in there. Okay, so awesome charcuterie wine, awesome barbecue wine. Take this guy on the patio, a little bit of some Capicolo, a little bit of some, I was going to say Manchego, but maybe I'll say some Provolone. I think Provolone is a good match for this guy over here. So we're going to go to Passo del Sud. Okay, now this guy is... lots of good things about this guy. So again, sneak peek into this guy. He's going to come up on the top 10 LCBO, top 10 red sales of the month. Original price for this guy is only $12.50. Ridiculous. And right now he's on sale for, I think, $10.50 or $10. Absurd. Okay. And on the foreign market, he sells for 15 euros. Okay. So this is one of those times where LCBO is doing something good. Okay, can't complain about LCBO in this case. Now, also doing something good over here is the winemaker. So this guy is, so first he's a 𝗪𝗁𝗇 method. They dry the grapes for, I believe it's about 5 to 6 weeks. Now, what grapes are going into this, you're asking? Negro Amaro, so the black bitter, Primitivo. 30%, 30%. Okay, so that's making up almost 2/3 of your blend. And then you have Merlot, and then you have an indigenous grape of Puglia. Okay, so this is coming from the south of Italy. Puglia, very warm climate, very dry climate. Okay, so, you know, think of California, where we just were, southern coast, Monterey County. Here we're in Puglia, south of Italy. Very hot, very dry. So you're going to get a wine here that is high in alcohol. This is about 14% alcohol, and plus you have the 𝗪𝗁𝗇 method of the grapes, right? So richness, okay? Good extraction of fruit. From when I tasted this guy, I recall like slight spice of like cinnamon, a little bit of like vanilla and French oak. But looking at the winery, they don't note any type of maturation in wood. Okay, so I don't know. okay? But I do pick up on a little bit of that, so maybe they did 3 to 6 months in some type of French oak barrique. I don't know, okay? But very well done. Age of their vines here, I think, is about 20 years old on average, okay? So again, very warm climates. Nice alcohol, 14%, nice extraction of fruit, good legs on the glass. So, and again, $10 and $17, $10, man, you can't go wrong for that, right? You can't go wrong. So this guy, again, this guy on the patio, a little bit of Parmesan. Marsan, where do you come from? Unfortunately, nobody picked up on my recording contract, so we're stuck here recording for Wine and Whiskey with Steve, right? So what do we know about Marsan? It can be found in the Northern Rhone. Is a grape varietal. Can be blended with Roussanne. Or D, when we don't know what the hell's going on in life, we go with D, all of the above. And that is what it is, okay? It is all of the above with this guy. So, yeah, Marsan is a very difficult grape to find by itself. Very famous for being blended with other grape varietals, especially in the Northern Rhone. Okay, what are some of those grape varietals? Roussanne, Viognier, and also Grenache Blanc. Okay, Grenache Blanc more in the Southern Rhone, I should say. Okay, but in the Northern Rhone, we're looking at Roussanne, Viognier, and Marsan. Those are the three that they're blending. We're so lucky, we're so fortunate over here that we have Q. Q. I'm pronouncing it right. Q. I always say sometimes, what do I call it? Q. Thank you, Monsieur. Q. When we visited the winery, I called it Q, and the lady there is looking at us like, Q. Awesome, awesome winery to visit. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a blend of Marsan and Viognier. 75% Marsan, 25% Viognier. I believe it's 8 or 10 months in French oak. This guy is so beautiful. You get the nice pineapple from the Marsan, and there's a little bit of like stone fruit and peachiness from the Viognier, but then the French oak is really well integrated, so you get this nice toasty, buttery brioche thing happening with this. Awesome wine. Price point, $20 range. Okay, so very accessible, very affordable. I wish I had a bottle of this with me over the weekend because I made some mussel chowder, and this would have went really well with that. And I think I'm going to do an episode on Wine Wednesday that incorporates mussel chowder and some white wines, because I paired the mussel chowder with a couple of sparklings, and while it went okay, it didn't really meet my expectations. I think I could do better for a pairing. All right, so I'm going to revisit pairing with the seafood mussel chowder on Wednesday, so tune into that guy. So yeah, this guy, definite no-brainer, good buy. I don't know if he's available at LCBO right now, but you can always go to Q and pick up a bottle, okay? Now, what are we going to compare this guy with? We're going to go to France, okay? We're going to go to the Rhone. We're not going Northern Rhone, we're going Southern Rhone with this one, and we're doing Famille Perrin, okay? So this winery here he's a very reputable winery, and they make a solid wine at accessible price points, okay? Everything is natural, respect for terroir, very clean wines, and over here we have a blend of Marsan, okay? So in this one, I believe we have a little bit of Grenache Blanc, we have some Roussanne, we have some Marsan, and we have Viognier. I do believe those are the four guys, okay? Stainless steel fermentation, no oak, very crisp, nice pineapple, nice peach, nice lemon and citrus, okay? A little bit of herbal characteristic in there, but beautiful wine. This is a nice seafood wine, easy sipper, okay? And price point for him, I believe he's only about 16 bucks, okay? 16 bucks, very clean, good structure, nice acidity, a little bit of minerality. Take him on the patio, chill a little bit, shrimp salad, awesome. Okay guys, question number 3, we are going to Rioja. I kind of gave away what the heck the answer is, but anyways, let's go through it. I love wines from Rioja. I can't even say anything without giving the answer away. It's terrible. Anyways, what are we talking about? Is it A, is it a method for making sherry? Is it B, is it a wine from Spain? Is it C, a grape from Spain? Or is it D, when we don't know what the hell's going on, all of the above? And this guy is a wine from Spain. Okay, so Rioja is a region in the north of Spain, and it's a red wine, right? They're very famous for making red wines there, primarily from Tempranillo, and then they put maybe in a little bit of Grenache or Graciano, Manzuelo, some of the other indigenous grapes that they have there. But this region is, I don't want to say it's undervalued or underrated, but because I think over the last couple of decades, this region has grown in popularity. But what I can say about this region is that they are underpriced. Maybe I don't even want to say that the wines from here are underpriced, because then the price of the wines is gonna skyrocket, right? But yeah, but you get a lot of value from Rioja, from the oldness of the vines to the length of the time they spend in barrel to the quality of the barrels that they're using. It's a lot of factors are going into making a quality wine here, and they're keeping it at such an accessible price point that's crazy. It's crazy. You know, for what they do, other places in the world would be 4 or 5 times as much. So that's one of the reasons why I like Rioja so much, is because of not just how well the wines are made, their price points, but also then how they taste in the mouth, right? These guys have a phenomenal taste. So Tempranillo is the backbone of Rioja wines, okay? And Tempranillo is going to give you these characteristics that are very similar to Sangiovese, sometimes 𝗪𝗵𝘁, and here in Ontario, you know, Gamay. So it's got this nice medium-bodied feel in the mouth, okay? And it has a very distinct cherry flavor, but then you also get these tertiary characteristics of tobacco, star anise. You can get a little bit of leather, okay? But it's mainly the tobacco and the cherry that come through with the Tempranillo. But what Rioja is also famous for is wood aging, usage of oak, okay? And they use high quality American oak and French oak. And they spend a lot of time, in American and French oak. So over here we have, well, we have one producer this time, okay? I couldn't really find anything in Canada that is gonna, you know, connect with Rioja, with Tempranillo, okay? So here, instead of, you know, doing Canada and Old World, we're just gonna focus on one winery that is doing things really well, and we have a nice little comparison that you guys can do as an experiment, okay? So here we have Beronia, and we have 2 different expressions of Rioja wine coming from the same producer. So here we have a Beronia Reserva. Okay, so I believe the blend in here is about 95% Tempranillo, and then maybe 3% Graciano, a little bit of Manzuelo, whatever. So primarily Tempranillo, 18 months in French and American oak, 40-year-old vines. Okay, again, say with me, 40-year-old vines. 40-year-old vines, 18 months, French and American oak. Okay, that's a lot of time. $20. $20, okay? And he's on sale now, $2 off. So I can't remember if that brings him from 20 down to 18 or 22 down to 20, but whatever. He's at $20 range, okay? This guy's gonna go brilliant with tapas or with chorizo, okay? You're gonna get a lot of cherry, you're gonna get your tobacco, you're gonna get a bit of hazelnut, you're gonna get a little bit of, you're not gonna get vanilla in this guy, okay? Because what happens, this weird thing that happens with Tempranillo and American oak, when the two come together, instead of getting vanilla, you get like this coconut. Okay, you get this coconutty flavor that is like smoky coconut. It's really interesting, okay, and it goes so nicely with, you know, with when you're having charcuterie. You know, you have a little bit of fat on your charcuterie, whether you're having like a duck or you're having prosciutto. So like that fat, that sweetness, right, of the fat connects so nicely with the sweetness of the coconut that's in the wines from Rioja. It's brilliant. Okay, so awesome pairing. Can't go wrong with that. And now, you know, to have even more fun, more excitement, what are you going to do? You're going to try his little brother. So this guy over here, he's called Especial or something like that. So what's different about this guy is that he is fermented in oak. Okay? So you don't just have maturation in oak, you have fermentation taking place in oak. And obviously the maturation is not going to be as long as in the Reserva. I think it's maybe only 8 months or so that they do maturing here in French and American oak. But the fermentation in the barrel, wow, it just adds another layer of complexity. Okay, so similar grape makeup, okay, but different wine making process. So do them side by side, and you can see like the huge, the amount of the wood influence, okay, in the Especial, okay, the Beronia is phenomenal. Again, a lot more of that oak, smoke, coconut, cherry, riper fruits. Okay, it's awesome. And again, pair it with the same thing, okay, and see which one you like more. Price point for this guy, 17 bucks. Okay, 17 bucks. Now I can tell you, in other provinces in Canada, this guy's going for $22, $24, $25. Okay, so again, getting a steal at the LCBO for $13. Sometimes he'll go down to $3 off, right? $14 for this guy. Not this month, maybe next month LCBO. Okay, but this guy, definite steal. Okay, so give him a shot side by side. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Question number 4, port and sherry. Port and sherry. Last episode, pretty sure I mentioned that we love port and sherry. I love port and sherry. My dad likes port and sherry. Every weekend when we go visit my parents, we bring some type of port or sherry. We were there on Saturday, brought over some port. I think it was called Porto 29. Okay, so late bottle vintage ports. Beautiful. Okay, we had that with some cheese and had it with some dates and some figs. It's awesome. It's sweet. It's easy drinking. Nice feeling in the mouth. It's just, you can't beat it. So what are we talking about with port and sherry? Okay, how are these guys fortified? Is it through the addition of grape must juice, which gives them their high level of residual sugar? How are these guys fortified? What gives them their strength? Forte. And the answer is, obviously, it's false. Okay, they're not fortified by adding sugar into the damn guy. Okay, so port and sherry, these guys are made from different grapes, different regions, okay, different countries. So port is coming from Portugal, and your sherries are coming from Spain. Okay, now port, when they're making port wine, they're using their indigenous grapes there. Okay, 𝗪𝗪 nacional, something like that. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of other indigenous grapes that they have in Portugal. In Spain, with their sherry, 3 main grapes go into sherry making in their fortified beverage. We have Palomino grape, Muscatel, and Pedro Ximénez. Okay, and we'll talk about the different styles very shortly. But now, in terms of fortified, how are these guys getting fortified? What do we mean by fortification? Fortification, we're talking about, the high level of alcohol that they have. Okay, which is about 20%. Okay, so how are they getting that? Is it from adding the sugars? No, it's from adding a distilled spirits. Okay, and when that distilled spirit is added to the fermentation stops. Okay, it kills the production of alcohol. Okay, so then you have the leftover residual sugar naturally occurring from the grapes when that distilled spirit is added. Okay, so that's how you get your fortification. In terms of the sherry over here, we have dry sack. I have a dry mouth now. I'm a little parched from the 10K run. Too many bad jokes that could be made with the name of this one, so we're not going to go there right now. Okay, but I think it's Humbert and Hobalt or something like that. Those are the producers that make dry sack. It's a very, very available sherry, very accessible around the world. Okay, and price point is only 14 or 15 bucks. He's ridiculous. Now, in terms of the type of sherry that this guy is, this is a medium sherry. Okay, so medium sherry has a residual sugar at about anywhere between 30 grams to up to maybe 60 grams or 80 grams. Okay, then you have your dry sherries, your pheno sherries, which are, can be only 8 grams per liter of residual sugars. But then you have your very, 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 very sweet, okay, your Pedro Ximénez grapes that are used to make a very, very sweet sherry. And these guys can have residual sugars in excess of 300 grams per liter, okay? And they can age for decades. You can even age these for centuries. They're not gonna go bad, okay? It all depends on how much time you have on this earth, right? Again, 14, 15 bucks. What do you wanna pair them with? Figs and blue cheese for sure. So in the mouth, this guy's gonna taste of figs. He's gonna taste of hazelnuts, maybe a little bit of like a candied orange, a little bit of orange peel, warm baking spices, okay? Very nice. So that's your sherry. Now on the other side, we have some ports, okay? And the one I'm picking over here, there's lots of ports out there. Right here I'm focusing on Taylor Fladgate, okay? This is Taylor Fladgate. This is a late bottle vintage. Grams also does an excellent late bottle vintage. So does Sandeman. Okay, so either one of those three, Fladgate, Grams, Sandeman, very easily accessible. Any liquor store around the world, you'll be able to find those. Now, this is a late bottle vintage port. So what does that mean? So in terms of the winemaking process for this guy, you're looking at about 4 to 6 years in oak, okay? And that time in oak allows for these grapes to mellow and to blend, give it a little bit of structure. Tannins are picked up from the wood, okay? And they're meant to be drinking now, okay? You're gonna get a lot of ripe prune, a lot of dark fruit. Sometimes you get some warm spices of cinnamon and a little bit of vanilla, but they're not meant to age. Okay, so you have your late bottle vintage ports that go for about anywhere from $18 to $20. Consume them now, enjoy, and you're good to go. We'll probably do some port episodes later on, okay, but other guys that we'd be looking at in the port family, you have your tawny ports, okay, your tawny ports, let's say like a Fladgate 10-year-old tawny, so that would see 10 years in oak, and it gives it more of a, a browner color. So when you pour it in the glass, it looks more, it looks brown, it doesn't look purple, okay? And that's where it gets its name from, tawny meaning brownish. And there you're gonna get different characteristics on the palate, right? You're gonna get a little bit more figginess, okay, a little bit more honey, okay? So you're moving away from the dark fruits and now moving into the brown fruits. Makes sense, right? And then you have your vintage ports. Okay, your vintage ports, these are the guys that are made in only exceptional years when you have a good harvest, okay? When everything comes together perfectly, you have your climates, you have your terroir, and everything is firing on all cylinders, then you bottle your vintage port, and this guy only sees about 2 years in oak, okay? So tries to remain or retain the varietal characteristics as much as possible, and then you lay these guys down for decades, okay? If not century, okay? It all depends, again, on how patient you can be as the wine is evolving. Excellent expressions. Try these guys out either before the meal or after a meal, and you're good to go. Question number 5, 𝗪𝗵. 𝗪𝗵 is a famous chateau in Bordeaux. Let's hope you guys didn't spend hours trying to search on the internet to see if there was a chateau 𝗪𝗵. I don't know, maybe there is a Chateau 𝗪𝗵, okay, but he's not a famous one, so I hope you locked in your answers to be false, okay? So 𝗪𝗵, not 𝗪𝗵, 𝗪𝗵 is a term that is created, that was created to market U.S. wines, okay? Now, these U.S. wines had to have a combination of Bordeaux varietals, which would have been your Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc. Those are your famous Bordeaux varietals. In terms of good expressions of 𝗪𝗵, I didn't want to pick out in any U.S. wines because I tried to do New World versus Old World, right? So New World, we're in Canada, so we're going to talk about Canadian wine. Okay, so in this case over here, we have Q, not Q, Q. Okay, Q. So these guys, they do a very interesting wine here called Soldier's Grant. Okay, I don't know if we talked about this guy before. I might have dropped the name Soldier's Grant before. Definitely dropped Q before. Soldier's Grant. So what are they putting into Soldier's Grant? Soldier's Grant has Cabernet Sauvignon. It has some Merlot. It has some Syrah. And I even think it has a little bit of Petit Verdot in there. Okay, and so your Cabernet, your Merlot, your Petit Verdot, those are, famous Bordeaux varietals. Okay, and then they throw in some Syrah. But what they also do with this is they do Appassimento. Okay, so very interesting, very unique here. This is a nice, big, bold wine. He's very rich, very complex, and very, very, very underpriced. It's crazy. $20. $20 for this guy. Appassimento method. He's beautiful. Okay, he's beautiful. He's Canada meets Italy in a glass. Okay, I've said that with Foreign Affair before. Okay, but I'm saying this also with Soldier's Grant from Q. $20. Okay, beautiful wine. Need to try that. On the other end, we have this guy over here, Marchesi the Frescobadli, right? Tenuta Castiglione. This guy here is, I guess we're going to classify him as a super Tuscan, right? Because he's coming from Tuscany, and he's Cabernet Sauvignon, he's Merlot. I think he's also got a little bit of, it's either Petit Verdot or Cabernet Franc. I'm not too sure, but then there is a bit of Sangiovese in him. Okay, so again, you have your classic Bordeaux varietals put together outside of Bordeaux, going to Tuscany, 12 months, French oak barriques, beautiful wine. Okay, and again, now price point on sale, $3 off. Okay, so from $22 or $23 down to $19, $20 LCBO. Can't go wrong with the quality on this guy. Phenomenal wine, perfect for. Here's a good pairing. Check this pairing out. Okay, wood smoked barbecue pizza. Does that make sense? Something like that. Okay, put in a nice smoked sausage with. And both of these wines will connect, okay, because of their usage of French oak. The smokiness of the French oak will complement the smokiness of the sausage, okay? Even if you want to put some smoked Gouda on the pizza as well, that's awesome, okay? So there you go, guys. 2 steals for you. 2 beautiful expressions of meritage at an affordable price point. Okay, wine and whiskey lovers, so thank you so much for your participation and for joining us today on this Monday, May the 23rd, May long weekend. So I hope you liked our very detailed reviews. That was my show that came up with that one, so the corniness is not on me, it's on you. Good job, my show. So, see you guys in about 5 minutes, and cheers to Valley in the Glass.